Yo, what is good, everybody, man? Hope y'all feeling loved and blessed as always, bruh. Welcome back to another Kids Room podcast episode. It's fantastic to believe and to think that every time I get to do these videos and to speak, and maybe show somebody else a visual on what the word is and things like that, I feel like I begin to learn a lot on my own, and it makes me want to grow within Christ too. So, just motivation, as people see these things and want to get to know God more. Sometimes it just takes that leap of faith and, just to get comfortable. So let's go ahead and get right into the episode. Hey, today we're going to be just getting into why we always feel like we are failing, but we're truly not. We always feel like we're failing, or we feel like we're coming short. And most times, often than not, that's in our minds. That's the dangerous game of comparison. Comparing yourselves to made up standards, comparing yourselves to things that you see on social media, comparing yourselves to other people, even other people's dreams, other people's materialistic things, other people's faith, other people's ideas. It's comparing and thinking and feeling that you're failing when you're truly not. So we set these high standards for ourselves and unrealistic ideas, and then we become down, and then we become depressed, and then we want to quit because we put ourselves in a situation, right? We put ourselves in a predicament where we put ourselves in a cage, in a room that's too small to get out of. We put our own selves in a box that we can simply open up. It's almost as if you jump into a jail cell and the door is wide open and you choose to stay within. You still choose to stay imprisoned within yourself, right? Because that's just an idea. Being broken, that's all just ideas in your mind. If you want to be healed, if you want to be better, you're going to work towards those things, and you will be, right, over time. And with the comparison trap, we get stuck in the idea, or we get stuck in time where you look in this way or you look in that way, and instead of looking forward or look in the mirror on what can you fix, what can you control, that at the end of the day, you are comparing yourself to everyone else. We should be comparing yourself to who you are now. Comparing your old self to who you are now, right? Don't compare other people's ideas to your ideas. Compare to your own ideas. Have better ideas, right? And whenever you start to do that and you're starting to weigh on and see other perspectives, now you can take other people's ideas and use it for yourself, not to copy their idea word for word or idea for idea, or you're not trying to measure someone else's idea, but you hear someone else's advice and you make it your own. That's the idea of being original, that nothing's new under the sun when it comes to God. First off, everything God sees on this planet that's happening, everything that we see, we do not know about all the time, but God knows and sees everything. In Galatians chapter 1 verse 10, it says, for am I now seeking the approval of man or of God? Or am I trying to please man? If I were still trying to please man, I would not be a servant of Christ. Who are you comparing yourself to? Are you comparing yourself to your brother or your sister, your mom or your father? Or are you comparing your goal and dreams to somebody else's goal and dreams? Or you're seeing what somebody else has and you're trying to get what they have, and you start to feel that you're failing? You're putting yourself in a box. You got to stop that. You have to stop self-comparing yourself. You have to stop self-idolizing other people and other things and believing that it's better than what we have. Because that's not always true. We always focus on the negative, and we should be focusing on the positive. Growth happens in small steps. Growth happens in small positive things. the little things, the detail in things, to enhance one's life, to enhance one's understanding of knowledge and what wisdom truly is that to make the right decisions every day, even when you feel like it doesn't matter, to make the right decisions even when you don't feel like making the right decisions, when you feel and think as if that you are failing, that you still go the right way, that you still focus on Christ, that you still focus on your goal, that you still look in the mirror and not compare it to other people or other things, but you compare yourself to what you're becoming. In Job chapter 8, verse 7, it says, "And though your beginning was small, your latter days will be very great." We cannot look at what things are now. If it's not what you want it to be, then keep thinking what you want it to be, and then you will see it. Until you see it, you should keep praying about it. You should keep thinking about it. You should keep speaking about it. You should keep working towards it, because that's what's going to happen in your later days. That you work hard now, that you focus now, that you continue to have fun and live life now, and then you will run into the things to come. You will run into the things that God wants you to have, the blessings. He will just give it to you. You won't have to fret for it. You won't have to fight for it. You won't have to always cry about it. But with your faith, you have grown to be greater. And that's what we need to be doing, because failure is a part of the process, right? That's a part of the success. And what society believes to be success, you have to redefine that definition to what you think success is. Because success is not what we think of it originally, what our parents may think, or what our siblings or what our friends may think, but it is exactly what God says it is, right? God doesn't always define success for us, but having the later days, having the later success, having the delayed gratification means coming to the kingdom, doing the right things now, to suffer now for later to always be in paradise and things like that. That's how we can define success. So whenever you're doing something, whatever you do, give it your all, right? Do it for free. Do it whenever you're mad. Do it when you're sad. Do it when you want to give up. That's what success is. It's part of it. It's failure. It's coming short. It's sinning. It's doubting yourself. It's not believing all the time, but still doing the right things. Because you have to shift your mindset into that you're not failing per se, but you're learning. Is that I came up short, but then next time I know where to measure my goal at. So then next time when I beat that goal, right, that maybe the goal that I originally had, the standard that I originally had, was maybe really unrealistic, and now realistically I see where I stand. So instead of being over dramatic or maybe overstimulating yourself to where you may give up, that you have to, for a short period of time, shorten your goal, right? Lessen your goal. Not to say that later on that your goal may end up being way more, because now that you're realistically saying, okay, maybe I'm not bench pressing 225, but I could probably hit 215, and then I work from there. You know what I'm saying? That I know where I'm at now, that I can work from there. That's what you have to be realistic about, to go to God, to go to Christ, to go to yourself, look in the mirror and say, I don't have this, I'm not good at this, I suck at this, but I'm really good at this, and I can be better at this, but then I'm growing in this as well. So using that to your advantage. In Romans 12, verse 2, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. You're shifting, you're going, you're moving, you're living life, you're making mistakes. In Galatians chapter 6, verses 9, it goes on to say, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. So it's to say that you feel as if you're failing. You feel as if you're coming up short. You feel as if you're never going to make it. But that's not what God feels. That's not what God knows for your life. That God knows that you were going to come up short. That God knows that you were going to be learning at this time, that you weren't failing, but you were going to feel as if you were failing. But God is like, you're just learning, that he's just putting you through the fire. That in 2025, that you have to know that you are going to come out unscathed, that you're learning, that you're gaining, that you're hoping for more, that you're gaining more, that God is not taking away to keep away, but to take away to give back. To take away is your gain. To take away is to learn more. To take away is to have wisdom, to have self-restraint, to have discipline. So in 2025, we're learning that even though you feel as if you're failing, yet you're not. That you don't let your emotions get in the way, or your ideas of idolizing what others are doing or what the other things in the world that's going on around you, is to know that when you define what your success is and you define what your imagery is of success, is that you'll never fail, that you're only progressing. But I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for tapping in with me on this one. Like, share, subscribe, give it to someone that maybe needs it. But that's all I got for y'all today. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.